Good afternoon to everyone. We knew it was not going to be easy, but I think we also made it a little bit more difficult by conceding from that set piece. We tried very hard to push them. They were sitting with a very low block, which we tried to break down. Unfortunately, when we conceded from that corner kick, which I think we did not do very well in our zones, Elshenawy came and flicked it behind and created problems for us. We did anticipate that if they score, we might be expected to dig a little bit deep, and we tried. I cannot falter the players. I think they gave it their best shot, but on the day, with everything that we tried, we could not get the desired outcomes. But this is how a Champions League match will always be. You can give it so much, but at times it can be very difficult to penetrate a very low block. I think we did try and have some good moments behind their defense. Unfortunately, not to have scored from Peter with the ball that is said to have been a handball, but we gave it our best shot.
So the media, some questions for Coach Mngqithi?
Thanks. From ENC. Coach, hard luck on the result. Where do you think went wrong for the team today? Because as you said, you created a lot of opportunities. Ahly seemed to be on the defensive side most of the time.
I would not say there's anything that went wrong, but on the day we did not score the goals. We anticipated a low block. We prepared for that. That's why we played Temba and Gaston in the grey zone, because we wanted to try and create opportunities within that space. But they kept shifting the block lower and lower and lower up until in the dying stages it was almost inside the 18 area. We did what we could do, but unfortunately we never really found easier penetration. And when Mshishi also got injured, it then became more complex for us when we felt that he might go back to his injury. Then we resorted to the approach of Afonso, Motupa to try and put balls into the box, which again did not really yield much. We did find those opportunities, but unfortunately maybe the cross is not right. Maybe it's overheat, it's a little bit high, but we did what we had to do on the day, but unfortunately whatever we did was not enough to win the match.
Any further questions? Please,
Coach Mosa Lebusa, just in the bigger picture of this competition, you have been able.
Okay, guys, can we please just resolve that? Okay, just please hold on, guys. Mazola, please.
What is wrong with him bringing his mic?
Sir, please, can we just bring the microphone? It's fine. It's no problem.
Thank you.
Guys, please.
Thank you.
Okay, quickly, thank you. Mazola, please.
Yeah. Coach, as I was saying, in the bigger picture, obviously you were there with the 2016 triumph as well, but you've not been able to go all the way since. Where do you think you are lacking in terms of, obviously granted now you play the defending champions and obviously one of the big hitters on the continent, but in the big picture, where do you think you are falling short to achieve that success yet again?
I think the truth of the matter is that over the past three seasons, we've had stiff competition in the quarterfinals. If you remember, we have played Ahly 3 times now in a row, and it's proving to be one team that we've really struggled to go beyond. We managed the first time around, and we had Wydad after that, and immediately after that we had Ahly. It has been a little bit tough, but it's something that we are learning from, because it already tells you that we are already inside the top 8, very close to the top 4. But unfortunately in that top 8 you meet the potential finalists, because in all these competitions, Wydad, when they took us out, they went all the way to the final to win it. Ahly, when they took us out, they went all the way to win it. So it tells you that we are competing at a level where now it's about breaking through into the top 4 and settling in the top 4, because we have settled in the top 8. But I think it's very good work in progress, because we never really outplayed by these teams. We don't create maybe moments to go through, but we never really fall short tactically or in terms of personnel. But the goals we considered in Cairo, for instance, were both our mistakes. But again, we dominated the space there. Coming to this match again, we dominated, but at times you will say dominating the game and not winning does not mean anything. But in football, we are working on XGs, the expected goals, the dominance of the pitch. What do you do in dominating the pitch? What do you do in dominating the ball? And when we look at all these facets, they are telling us that we are very close to breaking through. And it's work that we must work very hard on and improve where we have to improve in terms of our quality, because the truth of the matter is we are in the fringes of the top four, but we're really finding it very hard to get inside, probably because of the opponents that we find. We normally find in the quarterfinals opponents that normally go all the way to win it. We've not been as lucky as others where we find situations which would not help anyway. Maybe if you win the quarterfinal, but you are going into the semi-final against teams that predominantly go all the way to win it. But I'm very happy with the progress that the team is doing. And now it's looking even more positive when we are able to go to North Africa to dominate the game, not to try and play on a break and all that.
Thank you, sir.
Coach, make this from the inside. I think you've partially answered what I was about to ask, but any lessons learned, from the 2 legs? I mean, you've already said a lot about that, but now next year again, you'll still be in the very same Champions League. And now, I mean, what do you take, from here to there? And the second one, just the easy question: do you have any conversation with Pitso after this one?
We haven't spoken yet, but we will speak. We don't have any animosity between ourselves. The lessons are tough ones, because one of the lessons that you learn in the quarterfinal of the Champions League is that if you are fighting very hard to top the group, which sounds like an advantage, that you will go and play your first leg away from home, it's not always the best. Maybe being the second is always better, because when you are playing your first match at home, the opposition, when they play their next match at home, it's always going to be difficult. If you remember, even when we played against Ahly and we beat them, the first match was here, and we got 5. But when we went away, we struggled to beat them away from home. But because on these back-to-back matches, if you start at home, it looks like you stand a chance of going through. And if you can check, we topped the group, we are out. Simba topped the group, they are out. Belouizdad, I'm not sure what is happening with them, but I know they won their first match at home because they were second. Esperance had topped the group and they are out. So maybe it's sending a message that this fight to top the group so that you play away first is not always the most beneficial. Maybe you must try to fight to be at home first, where there are no other permutations. You are fighting to win the match that is in front of you. Then the next match away from home, you are trying to consolidate whatever you have. Today, for instance, Simba scored 3 goals. They tried very hard, but unfortunately, because Chiefs had done well in the first match, they managed to go through. So it's something that we must learn, because over the years, we've had a problem, the same problem, if I can be honest.